We got an Alex Bale theory time. The Incredibles theory. Gamma Jack is Jack. Honestly, bro, I only know of my boy Lil Jack right here. I don't know who Gamma Jack is. I don't know where this is from. I just know The Incredibles off of the movie. That's it. I don't know much about the lore and stuff like that or anything after that. I generally don't know what this is. So this is gonna put me onto a lot. Yeah, let's check it out.
What if I told you that this is actually Jack from the future?
I see.
Gamma
so this
Jack
is part
is a
of the... What? This is part of the movie. I didn't even notice that.
Gamma Jack is a character from The Incredibles that we see only for a few seconds. He is one of the many superheroes Syndrome killed as a part of Operation Chronos, and at first glance, he just kind of seems like a throwaway filler character. But if you look in The Incredibles DVD extras, you'll find a bunch of files full of information about all of these deceased heroes, including their powers, personality traits, and even audio clips of them talking.
I'm a man of culture, a man of passion, and I would say a man of
geyser
humor,
beam,
which is not widely known.
But Gamma Jack's file is a bit different than the other heroes.
Okay, let's check it out. Before he even tells us, let's check it out. We can deduct to see if it actually is him. Power type, massive, bro. He is overpowered. Jack is like that. I don't know how this could be Jack though. Controlled radiation burst, from focused burns to complete disintegration. Maximum range of high intensity burst, sharp intensity fall off over distance. Originally known as Handsome Jack. I don't know, bro. Yeah, I don't think this might be him. Peak Eater, maybe?
The other heroes. He is one of the most powerful supers in this franchise, with extremely dangerous radiation powers and a very disturbing personality.
Part of my job is to prioritize which villains I'm going to combat. The real kicker is I get these dames, man, these dame villains, and they got the curves and the hair and the big eyes, and boy, those ones, they're really hard to kill.
He's the only hero who outright kills people, and when it comes to saving people, he always prioritizes attractive women first.
You know, I take a look around, I see if there's any good-looking women who need to be rescued immediately, and then I sort of start from there and work my way down the list. You know, if you've got Tubby Joe Schmo over there with a laser pointed at his head, and he might have to wait in line a little while.
He's described as tyrannical and megalomaniacal, and even believes people with superpowers are a superior race.
Okay, that's crazy.
Gamma Jack is like a straight-up villain.
I was just about to say... Yeah, I was just about to say Homelander, bro. He got so many Homelander traits. Facts. Okay, and then look at this. NSA recommends keeping, I guess, a close monitor of him.
He's basically the Incredibles version of Homelander, and a lot of people have been making videos about him recently because of how much he sticks out in this franchise. But I think I've discovered something that nobody else has yet. What if Gamma Jack isn't just some background character? What if he's someone who's been hiding in plain sight all of this time? I believe that Gamma Jack is actually Jack from the future. I know that sounds like a big stretch. At first glance, these two characters seem nothing alike, both in their powers and personality.
Looks normal to me.
I mean, how could I possibly claim that sweet, adorable Jack is actually a tyrannical super supremacist? Well, just stick with me, because I guarantee that this will be the most compelling, believable Incredibles theory you will ever hear.
That's so dangerous.
You are going to be blown away by how well all of this lines up. This is the Gamma Jack theory. So, this all started when I noticed a couple strange similarities between these two characters. Obviously, they are both named Jack, and they are both extremely powerful supers. There's also maybe a passing resemblance, with both of them having a similar mask, and their hair ending in a single sharp point. But I didn't really start to take this seriously until I started comparing Gamma Jack's file to Jack. Gamma Jack is described as a picky eater.
I told you.
Which is probably one of Jack's most defining traits. Literally, Jack's first scene is Helen struggling to get him to eat, and a large part of the Incredibles 2 plot revolves around Jack only wanting to eat cookies and throwing a massive tantrum when he doesn't get them.
Obviously, I can't keep giving him cookies.
Give me the cookie! Bro, this is what happens when you take the iPhone or the iPad off of these kids nowadays. Stupid iPad babies, bruh. My bad. But yeah, okay, so the picky eater one makes sense. That's what I'm saying. See, that one stood out the most.
Jack Jack is an extremely picky eater. Gamma Jack is also described as a favorite of the ladies, which I think you can also apply to Jack Jack.
Can't I, little boo-boo boy? Who can handle it? Who can handle it?
Oh, so maybe he saw or knew, right, that since he's been a kid or a baby, he's always gotten the attention of women. So when he grew up, he, I guess, saw that. So that's why he only saves women or something. Because he has a soft spot for them. And a lot of, you know what I'm saying, he could be like, yo, they look good. So he just like women.
In this one, I do for free.
All of the women who take care of Jack Jack clearly adore him.
Tia stayed up all night making sure you look fabulous in your mini dress.
He is definitely a favorite of these ladies. Okay, but what about tyrannical and megalomaniacal impulses?
Yes.
Well, doesn't
when they took the cookie away, he turned into, you know what I'm saying? He had this tantrum right here.
Keep giving him cookies.
Boom. So maybe he has like, he just gets angry fast or something. I see it, bro. I see it.
Kind of sound like how Jack Jack is constantly and impulsively throwing violent tantrums?
Yes.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean?
It means fire, Robert.
Even when Jack Jack fights someone, he seems to always go for the kill just like Gamma Jack.
It's good, Manatee.
I mean, he did kind of indirectly kill Syndrome. Okay, so there are some surprising similarities here, but let's address the elephant in the room. Gamma Jack is an adult who died in the past, and Jack Jack is obviously a baby in the present. For this to work, there would need to be some kind of time travel involved. And while Jack Jack is an extremely powerful super with many different reality warping powers, we never actually see him do anything that resembles time travel. The closest we maybe get is his weird ability to travel between dimensions.
What the? Cookie. Cha-Cha want a cookie?
Wow! He can still hear you
From the other dimension, yeah.
That is freaky.
Except, I think there might be more to this dimensional power than we think. In The Incredibles 2, Edna creates a device that can help track and manage Jack Jack's powers, and it can even be used to help find Jack Jack when he moves into the other dimension.
Oh, what if...
He vanished!
Okay, good.
I guess when he grew up, he became more in control of his powers, which obviously makes sense, that he then figured it out, what this dimension means or what it is. So he figured out eventually that he can time travel. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this theory checks out. It's him.
That's a current readout. Click it.
It's him.
Readout, dimension 4. So where is he?
But if you look closely, you'll see that the device labels Jack Jack's dimension as 4D,
Thank you.
as in the fourth dimension, a dimension that is commonly accepted to represent time, meaning when Jack
The
Jack is
Tesseract.
working through dimensions, he is actually traveling through time. Okay, so Jack Jack could have traveled back in time and became Gamma Jack. But here's another big issue with this
That's
theory.
crazy. He died,
If they're
though?
supposed to be the same person, then why are their powers different? Maybe you could argue Jack Jack has some radiation-based powers, but Gamma Jack definitely doesn't have Jack Jack's many reality-warping god powers.
That's crazy. What's good, Cupcake? How you doing?
And yes, that is true, but listen to how Edna talks about Jack Jack's powers.
Like all babies, he has enormous potential. It is not unknown for supers to have more than one power when young, but this little one has many.
It is not unknown for supers to have more than one power when young. She talks about it like all super babies can have multiple powers when they're young, but eventually they all grow up and narrow it down to just one or two. Director Brad Bird has also made similar comments about how Jack Jack's powers are because of the unlimited potential he has as a baby.
Babies are unknown, so they could be nothing, they could be everything. You don't know. Every single one of them is up for grabs of what they're going to become. They could become a leader of the free world or a bagman, or maybe both. I don't know.
Maybe Jack
Bro,
Jack
this is
having
similar to like My Hero Academia, right? Where you're born with a quirk and let's say you aren't, bruh, I'd be sick. You're telling me I have unlimited potential as a baby, and I get the chances of having nothing? That's what it lands on? Bruh, I'm cooked. Not having a quirk is crazy.
Is kind of unusual, but there is a precedent that he could lose most of his powers. In fact, this explains why Jack Jack would be living in the past under a new identity. Maybe Jack...
True, at least here you keep your human aesthetic, whereas in My Hero Academia, you could be born with anything. Bro said, imagine being born with a fan as a head. That's true. Actually, yeah, that would be more of like a curse, bro. Because then what is my power, bro? Providing people with air? Are we dead ass? Hell nah.
Is a precedent that he could lose most of his powers.
Hell
in fact,
nah.
This explains why Jack Jack would be living in the past under a new identity. Maybe Jack Jack traveled back in time and then lost his ability to time travel, making him stuck in the past forever. This also lines up with a deleted flashback scene from the first Incredibles, where we can see Gamma Jack was close friends with Mr. Incredible and Frozone.
Although he tried to hide his powers, a few of us had heard about them and approached him. Had to talk him into becoming a superhero. We had a club, the first club that wanted him to join.
It makes sense. If Jack Jack is trapped in the past, he'd probably want to be close to his dad and Uncle Lucius, even if he can't tell them who he really is.
True.
Okay, but does Jack Jack actually have Gamma Jack's powers? I mean, maybe his fire or laser powers are kind of similar, but is that really the same thing as having radiation powers? Well, let's take a look at what Gamma Jack's powers actually are. The file's description is pretty vague, but based on his name and logo, I'm gonna assume his powers involve specifically gamma radiation, which is a form of high-energy electromagnetic radiation. And guess what?
He has that.
We are told by Edna that one of Jack Jack's powers is specifically electromagnetism.
Yeah, bro had to zoom in for that.
Electromagnetism.
Oh, never
Gamma
mind.
Jack's
She says
powers
it.
are based on electromagnetic radiation. Jack Jack has electromagnetism powers. They could have given Gamma Jack any form of radiation powers, but they specifically chose the type of radiation that Jack Jack can control because they are the same person.
Facts.
Also, if you consider the Lego tie-in video games to be canon, we do see that Gamma Jack has the power of flight and specifically green lasers, which is also the exact same as Jack Jack's.
Okay,
even need
this
to keep
has to confirm. What about the eye color? Do they share the same eye color? Because if it is, then bro, it's him. It's him.
Going at this point, Gamma Jack is Jack Jack. This has to be intentional.
Yes.
Okay, so these characters line up really, really well, to the point where I don't think that this is a coincidence anymore.
Coincidence? I think not!
But there is
This
still one final issue with this theory. Why would Jack Jack, a sweet, adorable baby with two loving parents with good values, grow up to believe that supers are a superior race? Like, that kind of feels like the last thing Jack Jack would ever believe. I mean, Helen even goes out of her way to tell her kids that having powers doesn't make you inherently better.
But Dad always said our powers were nothing to be ashamed of. Our powers made us special. Everyone's special, Dash.
Maybe Bob is a little more enthusiastic about superpowers, but he would definitely never call them a superior race.
Yeah, that sounds
that is
like
just
Frieza.
Unambiguously next-level discrimination. Where the hell would Jack Jack possibly get this insane idea from?
And
I used to design for gods. You are a tiny god. They are lucky to be in your presence.
oh, she kept blazing
Edna
him.
Mode believes that supers are gods, that they are above normal humans. She says it all the time.
Yeah.
And she even seems disgusted by non-supers.
Nothing super about them, spoiled, stupid little stick figures
Those
with poofy
bro,
lips
that's like
looking
Frieza,
only
bro.
at themselves.
Them singing monkeys.
For gods.
Okay, sure, but she only babysat Jack Jack one time. How much could she possibly have rubbed off on him?
Well,
Yes, you are a tiny god. The room is yours. They are lucky to be in your presence.
Literally after one day with Edna, Jack Jack starts acting exactly like her. Exactly like Gamma Jack.
These people are lucky to share the city with supers.
They are lucky to be in your presence.
And then she offers to babysit him anytime after this for free.
But babysitting this one, I do for free.
Holy shit, she is absolutely gonna mess this baby up. Well, there you go. I think this is a very strong case for Jack Jack eventually becoming Gamma Jack. Unfortunately, this does mean that Jack Jack will eventually be killed by one of Syndrome's robots. Maybe you could argue that's a good thing considering who he turns into.
Wait, I was gonna say that actually puts Syndrome like it changes that perspective. Like, damn, he's actually really strong. Obviously we had to see that in the movie, but even killing Jack Jack, who's supposed to be a god. If he kills him, then yeah, that makes him even more of a crazy like threat level.
Robots, maybe you could argue that's
Avengers
a good
level
thing
threat,
considering who he turns into. Or maybe he somehow faked his death. I don't know. It could be possible. I do think that there's something kind of interesting about Syndrome killing Jack Jack, but then later baby Jack Jack indirectly kills Syndrome. So it's kind of like this poetic time loop. The Incredibles 3 is coming out in 2028, so I guess we'll have to wait and see if it supports or debunks my theory. You know, even if this was intentional at one point, I do kind of doubt that they'll ever bring back this pretty obscure Gamma Jack character, but you know, we'll see. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider checking out my other fan theories.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
I've got other...
Yeah, watch that one too. Wait, which ones have I missed? Hold on, let me leave a like real quick. Let me go to Alex Bale. I feel like we've pretty much seen all of them. Oh, never mind. Not the High School Musical. Saw this one. Saw the... Oh, missed a lot of the SpongeBob ones. Low key. Saw the Avatar one. Yeah. I got on Alex Bale way too late. I know like the SpongeBob ones are pretty goated. All right, my boy, that was lit. W video. Jack is definitely Gamma Jack. Jack is Jack. Gamma Jack. Jack.